Folks, thanks for coming on the line with us today. This is John Dubas with the Brokerage here in Louisville, Texas. We'll be spending the next half hour to 45 minutes going over the programs we have available for market venue marketing with our agents, retail, 5 different options, some exciting developments in all of them. Basically, one remains pretty static, but the other ones, we've got some really interesting information for you as to developments within the programs. We'll talk about the program we have active at this time, and we'll have active through the fall, and that is our partnership with the H-E-B stores and the opportunity you have in those locations. We'll also speak to the United Healthcare retail program, the program with Aetna as well, the do-it-yourself program, and some interesting developments in the Walmart world that could very well affect people who have participated in the program in the past, but also those looking for an opportunity to work in that environment in the near future. We'll go through some of the tools we have that can help make these programs even more successful through you. Many of them located right on our website at thebrokeraginc.com. We'll speak to the contracting and certification process you need to complete in order to be eligible for these programs, and some different ideas we have that help you be as successful as possible in this environment. The first program we'll discuss is the program that is centered mostly in Texas and Central and South Texas for the most part, with the H-E-B stores. This is an organization that is very, 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 very accommodating, very easy to work with, and very supportive of an agent's presence in a store to the mutual gain of that agent and the store and the chain. H-E-Bs are located throughout southern and central Texas, a couple of locations up in Johnson County here in the outer reaches of the Metroplex. They have a full pharmacy program, including online services, and they do a number of things that really benefit their clients and you as a partner. This opportunity, as I mentioned, is here in Texas. It does market products through our organization and is featuring Medicare special election period opportunities right now. The featured portfolio includes United Healthcare, Blue Cross Blue Shield, Aetna Coventry, Baylor Scott and White in the Medicare portfolio, along with assorted Medicare supplements and assorted PDP plans from the portfolio above that helps make certain that the programs work well for both you, the prospect and client, and a shopper of H-E-B and H-E-B itself. In the coming activity, which comes up beginning the first part of July and runs through September as a prelude to the AEP open enrollment periods that come in the fall, the Medicare AEP and prelude season deals with that same portfolio, while as we go into the open enrollment period with the ACA programs, that includes the Blue Cross Blue Shield, Aetna Coventry, Baylor Scott and White, Humana, and Oscar ACA portfolio. I realize that the majority of people do not have a base of opportunity with ACA right now, but we're being assured and are fairly confident that these programs will be coming back commissionable for the agent in the fall. In addition, we're also looking for the Memorial Hermann opportunity for Medicare and ACA in the fall as well, a recent addition. This circumstance, however, has us looking for people who are interested in staffing in either of those opportunities, basically the first of next month, because there are people in stores right now for July, August, and September, and then the folks who want to man stores through the open enrollment periods from October through January, and we're looking for people who want to stake a claim on a store now. We actually need store choices and store preferences for those time periods by a week from today on the 29th. So if you are interested in the HEB opportunity, we need to speak to that opportunity now. It does require, obviously, a licensed agent to work the opportunity. They do require multiple carrier contracting through the portfolios that we have mentioned as well. You don't necessarily need every one of them, but you would want a minimum of 3 and 2, 3 Medicare Advantage carriers, 2 ACA carriers, to make certain that the opportunity is as fruitful for you and one that is best serving of the needs of the individual with whom you speak. In order to make certain that this comes about, you obviously need to be certified. 2 days ago, AHIP certifications for 2017 came available. Kind of makes you go, wow, what happened to that calendar? How is it flying so fast? But carrier portfolio certifications are coming available as well. And so we're looking to make certain that these are in place as you consider this opportunity. So in order to be in the store, you have to be certified for the portfolio that's available for sale at that time. So right now, it would require the certifications for 2016 as we go into September and onward, and we fashion a marketing program for the marketing period with the AEP for Medicare beginning October 1st. We're looking for 2017 also certifications on the products that are being offered. Many of the carriers also request and require additional certifications for the marketing technique itself, the marketing program. Retail certifications are required by many of these carriers, and those would have to be in place as well. We would require, moving forward, that you sign a pledge of conduct for your comportment within the stores. That would come to you as part of the conversation about the different locations, and you are responsible for event filing and activity reporting for the stores as you are active in the stores. The event filing has a different time period per carrier, per the lead carrier. We're going to go over that in a little bit, and we'll touch on the activity reporting as well. We'll also ask that you take advantage of as many trainings that are available by the carriers in our organization as possible, so you are as comfortable and as well versed as possible when speaking to the different programs that are offered. Knowing your product is a huge difference in sales effectiveness, and taking advantage of some of the marketing techniques that we've developed to make certain that the traffic to the store and in the store acts in your best interest and in the best interest of the store that you're working in. These programs are available without direct cost to you as an agent. You don't pay anything to be in the store. A couple of the other programs that we reference a little bit later do have a cost associated with them. As I mentioned, these locations are basically in South and Central Texas, a couple of stores up in Johnson County, as I mentioned. The time periods remaining for the set period up through September will continue to be Tuesdays and Thursdays, 9 through 1. There are additional days and times available with store management and department management pre-approval. Corporate helps to procure that for you. If there are additional days that you are interested in, once you're established in the store and you have your base days done, obviously that would be a decision made by local store management approved by HEB Corporate. I mentioned we are active in the stores right now through the end of this month. A new marketing cycle starts in July through September, and then October through January is another marketing period for the HEB stores. How quickly you can become active in a store depends upon the products and how you file those products. We'll go into that in greater detail in a second, but once again, an emphasis on the fact that these stores and their locations are known to us, and if you are interested in one of the stores, we'll have contact information about our staff later in the presentation please get in touch with us and let us know that you have an interest in a particular location, and let's discuss some of the activity we can have to make that successful for you. While in the store, there are several key components that are very important for you to adhere to in order to be successful. First of which is a leveraging and deepening of the relationship that you have with store personnel, specifically the store manager, the pharmacy manager, and the store champions. Each of the pharmacies within HEB have 2 store champions. These folks know their market, and knowing them and picking their brain can help you market in the surrounding community to help make your marketing experience even more fruitful, and perhaps even generate activity outside of the store in some of the local centers of influence. It's important that you let the staff know when you arrive and when you leave with your shift, so they know that you are there to push people to you, to refer people to you. A nice thing about a program that offers a portfolio approach like HEB and the Walmart opportunity here in just a little bit, the pharmacist can make your presence known without any danger of being accused of steering, because you do offer a portfolio of products, and it helps then with your traffic. Knowing that store manager, knowing that pharmacy manager and the staff within that pharmacy, perhaps even people up front, then those store champions, that is crucial in increasing the quality of your experience in the store and your success in the store, because it's awfully important that you all work together in order to make this a success, because your success has a bearing upon their achievements within the store and vice versa. So some things you really need to do with that staff and communication with that staff. It is, of course, important to dress as a professional. No jeans, no shorts, no sweats, no t-shirts, no cutoffs, no pajamas. Sometimes it's strange to see what some things can happen in that. It's business casual with your name tag. We'll have a representation of the name tag here in just a minute, and that's something we'll provide for you. It's important not only to let your staff know that when you get to the store and when you leave, but you're there early and you allow time after your shift ends for cleanup, tidying up the area, making certain that your display goes into the passive mode or into the arrangement that you have with staff as to how that display either remains or is taken down when you're not manning the store. It's also important to make certain that all electronic devices are used for work purposes. So cell phones are to be used in the store only for urgent issues on a personal basis, but also to help accommodate the needs and questions that your prospects and clients may have while you're in the store and you need access to a third-party expert for some particular answers. iPads and laptops are becoming much, much more a part of an agent's repertoire of tools, and if you are using them for electronic enrollments, you can do that on a passive state with many of these carriers as well. It's important to make certain that those are used for business purposes and working with the prospects. I realize that time spent in a store can sometimes feel like it drags. If that happens, that's the time period where it's important to make certain that your display is very eye-catching, your area is clean, and that you're in correspondence with people who work in the store as well. Not following them into a break room or anything like that, but making certain that you communicate well with the folks that are crucial to your success in your location. That communication goes to the base source of your location as well, because you're going to work with the store and pharmacy manager to determine the location for your table kiosk setup. Remember, you're there to help drive business for them. They're there to help position you to be as successful as possible. There are some compliance regulations. You can't be right next to the pharmacy. You got to be a certain distance away from where services are being rendered to remain compliant. We'll go through that in greater detail in a bit as well. It is important for you to know that the store supplies your table and chairs, including a retail kit with a tablecloth, could be one of 3 colors, and a table drape. Very attractive display. We'll show it in just a minute. And be aware when you're putting up or taking down additional displays or means to attract the attention of the buying public that we're very careful in doing so and are mindful of making certain that we're doing so in a safe manner. These are 3 examples of stores that have been staffed in the past. You'll notice on each of them they appear to be in somewhat different areas, and that's part of that arrangement that you have with the store and pharmacy manager to put you in a traffic area to take advantage of the flow of shoppers in that particular location. You'll notice in the upper right hand corner that particular store makes use of Mylar balloons as an eye catcher. There are other things that you can use to help draw attention to yourself as well, including proper use of the different items you need to remain compliant. One of the things that we get a lot of requests for are business cards, and this is a generic template in the upper left-hand corner for a business card. Basically, fairly vanilla, with the tagline, your health insurance resource for all ages. Because in this circumstance and many of the other retail circumstances, you're looking to help people with their health insurance regardless of what age they are. And this gives you that tagline to help bring that to the fore. You have a full portfolio of individual health products, including ancillary products and demand products that are at your disposal that can really help you accommodate the needs of the people with whom you discuss circumstances. So that card is there and available to you. Many agents will ask if we should list different categories or different carriers. Categories is a possibility on the back of the card. I'd like to see, in many circumstances, the card remain as clean as possible up front with your name and contact information. They're very important pieces. A listing of categories of coverage in the back is a good idea. Sometimes listing carrier names is a possibility. I would stay away from the use of logos of a carrier or an organization other than your own on a business card. If you're putting logos on a card, that card then needs to be approved by that marketing organization. You got to have approval to use their logo, and if you don't, that might cause some issues for you, to say the least. There are other display pieces or marketing tools that we need for you to take advantage of, including the piece on the right that posts the times that you're working there. There's another piece that lists the products that are discussed. There are pieces that tell the buying public that, hey, I'm taking a short break, I'll be right back. A number of things that are important for you to use and to post and to rotate when appropriate in order to stay compliant. And then, of course, we want everyone who works this opportunity with HEB to wear their name badge all the time that they're in the store for the opportunity. Obviously, not everyone's name is agent name. They'll be customized for your circumstance. We'll create these badges and send them to you upon your involvement in the program. If you are active in the program now and you have misplaced your badge, please let us know so it can be replaced. We need you to be properly identified while in the store. It also enhances the sales opportunities that you have. So please make certain that the badge is available to you. One of the carriers with whom we work with has an incredible array of marketing material that you can use on an unbranded basis. This is United Healthcare. If you are contracted with United Healthcare, you can access this information through the same website that you go to in order to complete your certifications, which, by the way, remember, AHIP is available. Go through one of the carriers to get the discount, and then go back and download it into the different carriers to satisfy certification processes. But that's the same site where this marketing material is made available. And these are how some of it looks. They're great little pieces that help establish your presence in the community, both on just a generic unbranded flyer without locations, and then a spot that allows you to also speak more to yourself. This is a more personalized version of the generic flyer. And then a piece that allows you to mention your meeting sites at different locations. So you can tag your hours in the HEB and use this in the surrounding community to help drive additional traffic. That's an invaluable tool for you to use, because as you do that, you're also prospecting outside of the store, coming across additional opportunities to sell with centers of influence in the community. You're also distributing and publicizing your cooperation, your participation in the program with HEB, and it can drive additional people to the store and to you. And then as you do that, obviously, you're going to make certain that store management and pharmacy management has that material available as well, and a listing of the locations to whom you distributed it, to make certain that they realize that you're working to drive business to their store in addition to taking advantage of the regular shoppers that come to their location. There's a bigger view of the general piece. It talks about the fact that you have choices of altering the headline between 3 different pieces, a choice of let me, let us help you, and a choice of sub-headlines as well. That gives you a greater opportunity to further customize the piece based on the time of the year and the location that you're working. And then obviously the important part, a personalization with your name and your phone number, so you are able to take advantage of the hard work you're putting into to market year-round and market that particular location. This is also a piece that we do on direct mail to help further your success in the store. So based on your location and discussions with our marketing staff, myself in particular, we can also do a direct mail drop in an area around the store that can help drive people to you and to your store. It is personalized with a phone number, your phone number, or this toll-free number here that dials into our office, and we would check and see where the closest individual store is to drive that additional traffic to you. This is a way of also farming the community in which your store is located, and can be held in conjunction with your activity in marketing to those centers of influence in the area as well. So something very important to help make this successful for you and the store. This is some of the information we need on a regular basis in order to report accurately to HEB the scope of the activity within the store. Copies of this can be made available to you, and it is something that we would like done after each shift. Obviously, there's certain pieces of information that won't vary. Most of the time, the pharmacy managers worked there for years and will continue to. That name won't flip. But we would like to know the amount of traffic that's being generated to and through your location, so we can properly sing your praises to HEB Corporate. It also gives us an indication that if the volume is not what we would want it to be, what do we need to do to alter that flow of prospects and clients to you, and see what we can do to make certain that the experience remains fruitful for all involved. I mentioned some of the requirements you have to satisfy in order to actually man the booth. One of them is the filing of the stores. And depending upon what your lead product is in that store, they have different requirements as to how far in advance you need to file that event. This particular circumstance, this is the filing piece with UHC, with United Healthcare. You have 2 ways that you can file events. If you are registered on their Be Connected prospecting system, you can file through the website, Or if you're not, you can file manually through UnitedHealthProducers.com on an event request form and take advantage of the filing opportunity in that fashion. They ask that you file 21 days in advance. If there are changes in that schedule, it's supposed to be done at least 8 business days ahead of time. If you cancel, at least 14 calendar days ahead of time. With this and any other carrier, if an event happens where you're unable to staff the store on a particular day, obviously we need coverage. We'd have to make certain that there would be a licensed agent to handle your shift, or in the event of weather, extreme weather, those are circumstances that are explainable, but they're not. Also, if it's a straight cancellation, you have to be there for a certain time period during the hours that are posted in order to stay compliant, even if the full shift isn't honored. There are also requirements with other carriers, Blue Cross Blue Shield. The event has to be filed 10 days in advance. With Aetna, 2 weeks, 14 days in advance. With Baylor Scott and White, 14 days in advance. So you've got some different compliance requirements, filing requirements with each of the lead carriers that are part of the program, but also we need to make certain that we satisfy each piece of compliance by being prepared ahead of time, filing these reports, and getting us the follow-up information as to activity as soon as possible after a shift is done. The United Healthcare opportunity is a separate opportunity. Obviously, United Healthcare does work within HEB as well. That's one of our lead carriers on the Medicare side for the product. With United Healthcare, they have their own retail opportunity with other vendors as well, and they ask that you be portfolio certified. Well, that was hard to say this morning. Portfolio certified in order to participate in the program. As mentioned, it has to be filed, and in this circumstance with their system, through Be Connected, their lead system, basically 3 weeks in advance, and the activity reports are filed through that same system as well. You choose the days and hours you want to work the kiosk per week, but they ask for a minimum of 15 hours per kiosk per week. Stores are not currently active, but they are assigning stores as we speak, and in many locations, depending upon the market, the opportunity to participate with United Healthcare may have passed. These are coordinated through agency managers in each market, and the requirements are different from market to market. If you are interested in this opportunity in any market, we would coordinate that communication and that request for participation through the local agent manager and the folks that are, part of that opportunity in your market. So some different things that we'd have to do as quickly as possible in order to secure you a location for United Healthcare. And as I mentioned, some areas it may be too late, some it may not be. They use multiple retailers, including Walgreens, Kroger stores, Safeway, a number of chains across the country that are available to you. If that is of interest to you, please let us know as soon as possible to see if that opportunity does still exist for you in your market. They have a ton of tools that can keep you compliant and also help you market. There's the prospect lead card, the permission to call card in the upper left-hand corner. We have a generic version of that available for the HEB stores. We have a listing of the store or the plan types that can be discussed. A sign that can be posted there and needs to be posted while the booth is active. And remember, as a reminder of what we talked about in the HEB opportunity, your kiosk has to be within a compliant distance from the pharmacy area, 20 feet away as a minimum. If you can hear the pharmacist talking to a customer, either the store is really, really quiet or you're too close. as part of the United Health Producers website that I mentioned before, where you can access your certifications and the filing through the event form, they also have access to their toolkit. And I got to tell you guys, if you haven't played with this, please go in and do so. It has a ton of really cool material that can help you in all sorts of marketing avenues. It has designated branded marketing material specifically for retail, including restock kits with their information, ads, event calendars, flyers, the hours of operation sign that I mentioned, different mailers you can use to support that activity, the old bio break I'm returning shortly sign, a number of things that are available to you in multiple languages: Spanish, Vietnamese, Chinese, the different pieces of the store operation, when the kiosk is operating, the returning shortly sign, calendars you can do and use to keep yourself straight with the intermingling of marketing activities that you look to use. And they have specific flyer meeting locations available to you for use that are branded with United Healthcare's information. Additional other language material available: Tagalog, Korean, more Spanish material on additional marketing pieces, Vietnamese, Spanish material. Some really, really awesome pieces for you to use for your marketing experience in that store. There's also additional tools that you can use that deal with the marketing of extra assistance programs to make your stay as fruitful as possible in the store. These are illustrated in this particular flyer for the Extra Help flyer, the LIS flyer that United Healthcare has available to help you market to folks in different niches within the Medicare arena, folks that are of lower income, so you can maximize the value that they have for the program they select and also minimize their cost under that program, because the LIS program does override the co-payments that a person has regardless of the plan that they have in place. This is an illustration of how one of our agents uses social media to help announce his participation in the store. So in this circumstance, he's worked with Kroger in a store and is publicizing his return to that store and the time that he is available. This is a great way to generate activity within the store. There are obviously different manners of activity that are dictated by different compliance rules that you have to make certain you are adhering to. And these include, with United Healthcare, as I mentioned earlier, the passing of the events basic module. So in addition to portfolio certification, you have a marketing module that you need to complete to participate in these activities as well. They want everything reported through their systems. And then there are so many regulations sometimes that agents will be concerned as to, well, what can I say? I can't chase somebody down. I can't do like a couple of your ladies did a few years ago, offer a kissing booth as a bribe for someone to come. Not a good idea regardless. But you can obviously greet people. You can say hello. You can be polite, acknowledge their presence, make certain you establish eye contact so that they know that you are there to serve them. You can't say, hey, come here, I want to give you a pen, or hey, come here, I want to tell you about some of the choices you have. You can't call them over or gesture or go trip them and drag them over by their hair, caveman style, but you can be polite and make certain that you draw attention to yourself in a compliant fashion. United also asks that you complete a code of conduct and post all the materials as needed in the store, and that's something that we ask of you as well. Some additional tools that they have available for use, these are pull-up banners that can really draw attention to your location. Keep in mind, these are made available through United Healthcare Community and State, and they are publicizing your proficiency in working the dual special needs plan programs. So obviously, as part of a portfolio certification, you'll need to have that information available if you are making use of these tools. There are also different sandwich boards. These are those plastic boards with the drop-in signs that also publicize the dual SNP opportunity. These are the pieces that can really draw attention to you, particularly on a year-round basis when we go into the special election periods that we're going through September. These are important tools for you to draw attention to yourself, to draw the audience that can make a change now. Great pieces. We can get them if we don't have them on hand and make them available to you at the cost at which we procure these particular tools and devices. Right now, they aren't charging us for these pieces. So you want one of these to market in a retail situation or for your office, let us know and let's see if we can't get an appropriate piece for you, because as you can see, they're in English. They're also available in Spanish. This is how the pull-up looks. This is our offices here in Louisville. That's the incomparable Pepper McCarty. That's how it looks. It's a really, really nice piece. I priced some of these looking to buy some from United Healthcare for the ARP Medicare supplement pieces, and they're about $130 a piece. So the price is most certainly right for us right now. If that's something that's of interest to you, we need to make certain that we make it available to you. Now we'll go into the offering made available by Direct Health in conjunction with the Walmart stores. This is a opportunity to work different Walmarts across the country. They are utilizing a portfolio approach as they did last year. Very few changes in the program year over year from this year to last year. They do ask that you have a minimum of 3 Medicare carriers and 2 ACA carriers that are most appropriate for your market, and have the opportunity to staff the store beginning in October through the month of January. With this program, the filing is done online, much as what it is done with United Healthcare through their Be Connected system. With this, you're using software through Direct Health that includes the initial filing of the activity, and then the refiling of your activity reports daily, each day that you work a store, through those websites as well. It is not active at present. It comes active in October with other activity needed ahead of time. We're going to go through a timeline right now, but we are collecting location interest now. We're going to talk about how they are doing a bid process for stores in just a minute, but if you have interest in working Walmart, we need to know about location choices you're interested in now. So as part of this, we're going to talk about how we can get information back and forth to each other and make certain that this works to everyone's best interest. The expectations that the program has, this is direct from a webinar we had with the Direct Health Marketplace Walmart folks last week. The requirements for staffing are unchanged year over year from last year. They do require 20 hours a week in the store with a minimum of 3 days in the store. You can work additional hours. You can work in conjunction with another agent. You don't have to take the full store. As long as we've got the store staffed for a minimum of 3 days and 20 hours, you could work it 168 hours a week if the store was open 24/7. I don't think that's probably a smart idea, but hey, it's available to you. They want at least 20 hours in the store. More of them are encouraged. Additional hours are encouraged. They do ask that each day you staff the store, you report on your activity that day, and that you check in and out with the pharmacy, much as what we encourage with any of the retail opportunities. We, as your upline, are responsible to make certain that you are ready for the opportunity, so you have to have the certifications in play in order to play in one of these stores. 3 MA carriers, 2 ACA carriers as part of your portfolio available. If you do not work both sides of the market, we need to make certain that there is another agent working with you in that store for that part of the market. Same way we would do in the other opportunities as well. The store fees, this is a program that, unlike the first two, HEB does not require a payment on your part to HEB or to our organization to participate. United Healthcare does not either. Walmart does. It's $500 a store. $250 of that is eligible for a refund based on your compliance to certain regulations and requirements that they have in place for that refund. We have to pay that amount to Direct Health in the very, very near future. You'll see it on the next slide. This is a program that's available October through January, goes live on the 10th of October. You've got other things you got to do ahead of time to participate, and it goes through the open enrollment period for ACA at the end of January. Obviously, if we encounter some circumstances like we did this year with some of the commission challenges we had with some of the carriers, that may well be taken into play. Right now, they don't anticipate that. They do anticipate the carriers paying commissions to agents during the open enrollment period. Remember, a lot of that hubbubaloo with the ACA programs now during the lock-in periods for ACA was predicated on some of the challenges some of the carriers, well, all the carriers had with abuses being perpetrated upon the market by the buying public on special election periods, life events that had them popping in and out of coverages. The agent portal is the same as what was used last year, so the computer support is the same that people used last year if you're familiar with that. You need to complete the training, the sign off on the code of conduct, and update your carrier and NPN information through that portal as well. And they're asking that certifications be done by 9/1. We questioned that certification process for the ACA world. Depending upon some of the carriers and the circumstances there, may not be available to be completed by 9/1. Medicare is. They want all the Medicare requirements certified, recertified by 9/1, including the additional certifications that the carriers have for marketing activities. So that pledge and the extra modules for retail have to be done. They are staging 2 huge fairs, 2 events, including one on opening day of marketing of AEP, 10/15, and one mid-January, January 14th. It's an event that's going to feature product demos, health screenings, pharmacy engagements. It's a great way for people to become aware of your presence in the store. They are going to be spending massive bucks to market this, to drive people to the stores for those events. So we feel it's a great opportunity for you as an agent to announce your presence in the store, take advantage of marketing dollars being spent specifically for that. Walmart's going to be spending a ton of cash as well to participate in different advertising activities to drive people to you throughout your time in the store as well. Some of the different pieces that are available, they are really nice marketing pieces. You've got differing pieces for the super centers and the smaller formats. They're going to drive awareness through the Walmart radio and smart TV. If you've ever picked up a medication at a Walmart pharmacy, you see that TV with all the commercials rolling through. I've got pictures from those screens from last year of agents or the advertisements being used to support agents through smart TV. The store and its associates are very helpful to help drive traffic to you as well. This goes back much as what we've mentioned with the other opportunities, HEB and United Healthcare. That communication with store personnel is paramount to your success. And then Walmart also has the Healthcare Begins Here champion available as a point of contact in the store as well. So some different things that come into play. You've got the support of the stores that are part of it, and you have the support of the infrastructure helping drive the program that is there to make this successful for you as well. The process for selection. This is where we have a little bit of variance from last year. Normally with Walmart in the past, if you'd been in a store in the past, you had right of first refusal for that store. You kind of do this year and you kind of don't. If your store was one of the top 20% of producers in the retail chain for Walmart, you've got right of first refusal. If it wasn't, you may have it back, you may not. This circumstance, it's asking that if you're in that top 20, we have those stores, we have the stores that we were in last year and the ones that we have right of first refusal for, we have those store locations now. So if you worked a store in the past, you want to work that store, Christina's been reaching out to people to make certain that they realize that we need their buy-in or naysay on a particular store. If the store wasn't in the top 20%, one organization who is administering the program does have the right to select additional stores before anyone else. We lost 6 stores of ours that we had last year to this opportunity, and they are aggressive in marketing to agents saying, okay, you want to work that store, you got to switch your contracts. That obviously is your prerogative. Releases do need to be obtained if that's the circumstance, but there are other opportunities in retail and other stores, even within Walmart, because once that second round is completed, we then have the remaining stores to staff and to request incremental additional stores from the pool that had not been selected in the initial go-rounds. So we had a webinar last week with HEB partners, with Walmart and Direct Health and Marketplace, with their introductions of these slides and the expectations. We had the listing of the stores for about 4 or 5 days now, and we'll need those stores back in with payment by July 1st. So we've got a little over a week with those. If you were in a store in the past or of interest in one of the stores that we've had in the past, willing to work with additional agents, we need to know and we need to put our dibs in and get the money in. They don't accept money. The organization doesn't directly from the agent. You have to pay us and we have to pay them. The stores that aren't paid in full on time become eligible in the next pool of drafts. So that's when after the 4th of July, we have an additional store list of those that weren't selected, and that round lasts until July 11th. And then the day after, the final list of stores that are made available are available to us through July 22nd, when all the stores have to be in. We have to have our selections and the money in for round 3 by July 18th. So this came out a little bit later than it has a few of the years in the past. It has a little bit different rules as to selection. It still deals with $500 in stores across the country, and there are differences between super centers and the neighborhood markets. So some different pieces that are available to you through our organization with Walmart. A little bit of a delineation of that timeline. We had the webinar, stores were released. Our first round of selections have to be in by the 1st of July. Then second round by July 11th, third round by July 18th. All stores are final by the 22nd. They have a deadline of the 1st of September for you to be certified for engagement in the stores. Materials begin to arrive in those stores by the 29th of September, and you have to have met with the store champion and management of your location by the end of September. They got to know who you are, how to reach you, different things that you begin that relationship with that store management at that point in time by the end of September. The activity goes live on the 10th of October, and the AEP in that health store or that health fair in store is on October 15th. AEP ends for Medicare on Pearl Harbor Day, December 7th. The OEP and the Healthcare Begins Here campaign continues until the end of January for the ACA programs as currently slated. So a timeline available to you in between the 7th and the 31st. There's also an additional health fair on the 14th of January that the agents are part of as well. This is a picture of the kiosk we had in the store right down the street from our offices this past year. And I got to tell you guys, they do a good job of publicizing it. With this, it's additional hours. You can staff with additional agents. You can split that cost. You get half the monies back if you are compliant in what their expectations are for your comportment in the store. So a very cost-effective way of marketing right now. The additional option that is available is through Aetna. They're rolling out their own program, also administered by a third party, very web-based with all the information available through a website coming available. And it is also where you would locate the marketing collateral and where you would deliver the registering of your time and the reporting thereafter. Its program in the past has been Medicare only. We are currently collecting location interest with this. The more specifics that are coming soon, well, we have more details day after tomorrow on the Aetna stores. So there'll be another update coming specifically for Aetna's campaign at the end of the week. There is, of course, the opportunity for you to create your own local marketing campaign, and that is by identifying a location in an area that may not have some of the support on a national basis that some of these other campaigns make available. There are always pharmacies in a location that are independent, smaller mom and pop shops that need your help as well. And these are the people that you would use for this type of initiative. They can be pharmacies, they can be other centers of influence in your chosen marketing area that you drive a similar sort of campaign as we've described in the 4 previous options, just without some of the national support that you might have with the chains that are behind it. How do you request these stores? You go to our website, go to the retail programs, and you can request specific information, and our program coordinator, Christina Guerrero, or a number of the other folks here that are engaged in the retail program will reach out to you with additional information about store locations and the specific marketing programs that are in place to help you make this a successful part of your overall marketing program. Some of the things that we do to make this successful, and I realize there are some questions that have been asked, and I will answer those toward the end of the presentation. Obviously, you've got to have the programs in place to be eligible for the programs, and the programs that are key to your success, your selling success in the store. There are multiple programs for multiple campaigns. We have created within our website an opportunity to electronically contract with the vast majority of these carriers. You basically go on to SuranceBay through our website, create an agent profile, and add carriers one by one, and it autofills the the contracting information for you. A very simple way of making certain that you have a ton of marketing opportunities available through carriers to make certain that this part of your overall plan is very, very successful. If you are working with us, obviously with your programs through us, you can obtain E&O coverage through our organization, and that coverage is without cost to you for programs that you use contracted through our organization. Translation, free E&O. These are the gals in the office that are tasked with making certain that your contracts flow as easily and as quickly and as smoothly as possible. Laura, Ebony, and Samantha are all available for you to help you become contracted with the programs you need to participate in this program or with any other program that you have in play and wish to have in play. You can reach them by email with their first name at thebrokerageinc.com or dialing through the toll-free number at 1-800-442-4915 or through their direct extensions that are posted here. If you're scrambling for a pen, keep in mind this is being recorded and will be sent to you as follow-up to today's presentation. So Laura, Ebony, and Samantha are there to help you with your contracting with our organization. There is a full portfolio of products for you to use. And remember, when we deal in the individual major medical market, both ACA-based and Medicare-based, there are opportunities and needs outside of the base program. A high deductible metallic plan with ACA programs, well, it can be very well served with a hospital indemnity program or a critical illness program to help address two of the circumstances that drive expenditures that help deal with that large deductible you may have on a metallic plan. Same things come into play with Medicare Advantage programs where the daily hospital rate, the copayment that a person has to have can be handled by a hospital indemnity program. And then, of course, that chemoradiation treatment that is generally 20% in many of those programs can be addressed in a critical illness or cancer program. You also have the opportunity to pick up the necessary coverage for those demand products like dental and vision programs, which are part and parcel of most people's everyday needs and are generally not very well covered on any base programs that you may be offering to those individuals. In addition to those base medical and ancillary programs, you do have the opportunities for coverages with final expense, life insurance, other programs that are necessary to make certain that your prospects and clients are covered in the fashion they need to be. We do also offer additional trainings, as I mentioned before, that are posted on our website, either as part of a webinar archive where past presentations are recorded and you can access them 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And then, of course, many of these presentations, if they are based on a PowerPoint, well, the PowerPoints are available too for your review. So different ways that you can go back and review past trainings or reach out for trainings that may be scheduled in the future that don't fit your particular schedule or some things you want now. Some of those recommended trainings are obviously any carrier that you're working with in either Medicare or ACA. If they have product trainings, we think that's paramount that you are as proficient as possible in those programs, and the only way to do that is train with it. The basics of blocking and tackling can make all the differences to your success. Carriers also offer specific retail training programs and certifications that are very important for you to use. And then, of course, many of them on their websites have additional tutorials for you that can make you even more successful in working these campaigns. We do have a training that deals with working the community around your store in grassroots marketing or working your community trainings, and those are on the website, and we do post those or do those live periodically as well. Additionally, if you're working the Medicare market, it's very important for you to be well versed in low-income subsidy and Medicare savings programs. We have training specifically for them. Be also aware of the different subsidies that are important for you to know as it pertains to the ACA programs as well. We also offer regular trainings on our Medicare supplement quote engine that helps you offer a complimentary Medicare supplement review, which is important because not everyone has a singular solution to their healthcare needs in the Medicare world. Some folks, great fit for Medicare Advantage. Some folks, they're better served by a Medicare supplement and a PDP program. That can be addressed through the MedSup quote engine training we have, and the decision maker training is an illustration as to how to use Medicare.gov as you should to best serve your prospects and clients and your partner with whom you're partnering or marketing, such as HEB or the different stores that you're using. Many of the additional gaps that we mentioned on regular health programs can be covered at the same time through a generic scope. So those ancillary programs like hospital indemnity or critical illness plans, many of those carriers allow for enrollment electronically, and that's something that you can do through different carriers such as Medico, Cigna, Aetna, a number of the different carriers that offer these programs. And I tell you, half the time, just asking, you interested in dental, will get you a sale at least half the time. There are also other publications made available by the government that can be very useful for you. Some things such as the comparisons of drug coverages that are part of the publications put out by CMS. The Plan Finder for the Medicare plans also put out by CMS. That information available and accessible through this presentation as well. What you need to do now, if you're interested in retail or have questions on retail, let us know. Click on that form on the website. Respond to the email that we're sending as part of follow-up to today's presentation. Give us a call, 1-800-442-4915. Locations are being requested and assigned now. We need your feedback as to where you would like to market, if this is something you're looking forward to, and if you still have questions, we got to answer them lickety-split and make certain that you're in the flow so you can be contracted appropriately, that you've done your certifications and have studied for your products. You start to prepare your market as you have the location. What's in that area around that store that can help make me be successful and engage in the entire procedure. Here is some additional contact information for folks that are lead in working the retail opportunities. Contact once again through the website that we mentioned or through the toll-free number or direct numbers that we have, 800-442-4915. Christina Guerrero coordinates our program. She is off today. She's taking vacation. But you can reach her through email, through the phone, and then the rest of us are covering to make certain that we answer questions as quickly and as completely as possible. Claudia handles a lot of South and Central Texas. Kim handles the Houston area and the area east. Try to make certain that you have information on any other parts of the country with any of the campaigns that you are interested in. Went a little longer than usual, packed in a bit more detail as to what we've had in the past. For some of the questions that come into play, any idea as to the number of ACA policies that were sold through locations last open enrollment? It varied from a nice round number of 0. Some agents didn't offer the ACA product to we had about a half a dozen agents that probably sold close to 100 of the policies through retail last year. It varies according to the individual, the products they offer, the area in which they are in, all those different variables that come into play, and how well you work that store opportunity. The United flyers, if you would respond to today's email follow-up that's going out, or reach out to me at john@thebrokeraginc.com. will help walk through and create those flyers. Lynn, I got your request. I'm going to be creating one for you, sending you the PDF along with some color copies through the mail as well. Any additional questions? I think I got them all covered, but I want to thank you for coming on the line and spending some time with us. Watch for the follow-up to today's presentation. Reach out to our office with requests for information about the program, some things that you look to make use of when it comes to the participation in the plan and the different things that we want to make certain we do to help you be successful within retail. That said, I want to let you go. We're a little longer than an hour today. I want to thank you for coming on the line and investing some time with us. We look forward to speaking with you in the very near future and moving forward to make retail a part of your marketing program and a very successful means for you to reach out to your prospects and clients and drive business. Thanks so very much, and hey, happy selling.